Hey guys, just want to let you know that tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on painting these bumpers and these rims. These bumpers and rims are off of a 78 Chevy Blazer. The truck has less than 4,000 original miles on it, okay? So here's the story with it. The guy bought it brand new in 78, paid like $6,000 for it, something like that. Lost his job, ended up moving to Florida. The truck stayed in Ohio, in a barn, just sitting there for since it had less than 4,000 miles. And he went to Florida to work and never came back. And he ended up getting divorced, and his ex-wife had it in the barn, and she wanted to get rid of it, so somebody had bought it. And they're keeping the truck as original as possible. It has some little dings and dents, paint cleaned up really nice. These took the majority of the weather and the beating because, you know, people moving stuff around in a barn. It had some scratches and stuff on the bumpers, and it was starting to rust in those spots. So we're just painting the outsides, not the back sides. We are using a single stage urethane white paint from Summit Racing, nothing super expensive. We're doing it like it originally was. It originally had a single stage, not urethane, but it had a single stage paint back in the day, probably an enamel or lacquer, more than likely probably an enamel. But if you look closely here, because I didn't sand all this yet, you can see like just how crappy the paint jobs were in 78. There's like dirt in it, there's lines in it, and we're trying to just we're just going over it. I'm just going over it with 180 and 320 to clean up the scratches. None of the rust is pitted or anything like that. Same thing with the rims. We're just gonna go over it. This is where the beauty ring snapped on, so we just wanna clean it up. It's nothing bad. Very, very minor rust around the perimeter. Nothing too much to worry about. Also, I got the hood out for the Chevy dually. That's going to be getting painted later this week. I still can't find the stupid bracket for the other side of the hood hinge. I don't know where I put it. I'm going to look one more time. If not, I'm going to have to run to a junkyard and grab another one because I want to paint that with the hood so I can bolt the hood on. So if you guys are interested in seeing these bumpers and wheels get painted, I'm just going to be using an epoxy primer right over what's sanded here. And then we're going to put single stage right over that. So the epoxy primer is going to seal up the bare metal before the paint goes on. So if you guys are interested, please hit the thumbs up. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you haven't subscribed. Other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow evening with a video on getting these things painted. Also, one more thing, we're going to be painting the back side of the rims black, baking it dry real quick, flipping it over, and painting the front sides white. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.